Hello, welcome to American Lit 1, the fall 2023 semester. My name is Lee, I'm your instructor. My office is where I'm sitting right now as I record this, is on the Union campus of ECC in room HH 228 in Hanson Hall, so kind of upstairs from where the theater is. Especially if you're on Union campus, please stop by sometime, meet me in person, so we can know that there's a human on the other side of this online class. I wanted to record hopefully a brief, just introductory orientation video about the class itself, how things will look week to week, and some main reminders about things. So I'm going to share my screen. And this is what American Lit 1 should look like right now for you. I want to stress that when you look at our course in Canvas, look at it in the module view. So I think this is especially pertinent if you look at it on a tablet or your phone, where you're prompted to look at assignments, quizzes, etc. Please always click on modules so you can see how the course is supposed to be organized. So again, module view, that will be very helpful for you. At the top of our class, we have the syllabus, just the text list from the syllabus. I'll open those in a second. And then some good resources about American Lit. You can use these resources throughout the semester, especially when we have writing assignments. And then some good resources about general writing skills. And we'll go over those too as we get to more in-depth writing assignments. So if we look at the syllabus, I'm going to go over some main points on the syllabus. The last few pages of the syllabus itself are our text list. I've also included that independently so you can refer to that more easily. When you look over our text list for the semester, do not get overwhelmed. So many of these are brief poems, kind of brief biographical sketches. Some of the much longer pieces we read selections from. So there is a lot of reading this semester, do not get me wrong, but this is absolutely manageable in terms of the scope of the whole semester. So keep that in mind. But you can just kind of glance over this and see we cover a couple hundred years plus this semester, and you can kind of go through and see some of the highlights of what we will cover. So keep this on hand. We also have a couple of films that we will watch. And yeah, you kind of use this as a guidepost. The syllabus itself, of course, some of this is common among all syllabi at ACC, but you'll want to be familiar with a couple of spots that are definitely distinct and can be very unique from class to class. So this is all my information, again, about my office. My office hours are student hours. I'm in my office just waiting for folks to come meet with me. If none of these times work and you want to meet with me in person, let me know. We'll find another time. If these times work or another time works, but you're not on campus or campus is not accessible, absolutely, we can Zoom, we can talk on the phone, whatever works for you. So just some basic information about the class. We'll look here, the required textbook. So I ask you to purchase the Norton Anthology of American Literature, Beginnings to 1865, the shorter 10th edition. This is very important that you get the shorter 10th edition. You might be able to find the 9th edition cheap somewhere, but it doesn't have exactly the same readings, and the page numbers are all completely different. So it will just be kind of an issue all semester. So I highly encourage you to get the 10th edition, the 10th shorter edition of the Norton Anthology. Technology, certainly be plugged into Canvas, check your email, utilize all of those technological resources that the campus has. Typically in this class, you will be either writing straight into the course, so kind of straight into a quiz or an essay box, or you'll be uploading PDFs. So whether you use Google Docs or Microsoft Word, as long as you can save a document and make it look pristine in MLA style as a PDF, that's what will matter in this course. So competencies and objectives. If you show up literally and figuratively, you do the work this semester, this is what you should take away from it. As slow as this course is both a Core 42 course and it satisfies the critical thinking outcome for our institutional student learning outcomes. There's some information about that here. Again, some common info, just for ECC courses in general, our notice of non-discrimination. If you see or feel or experience discrimination on campus, please go through the proper channels of reporting it. That is not the environment we want to have here. We are a tobacco-free campus and a marijuana-free campus as well, in keeping with our board policy. So just be aware of that. Classroom and online conduct. There's a student conduct policy, and that covers online courses as well. In short, just be respectful and kind, and I will treat you like adults, behave like adults. Let's respect one another, all of those good things. If you ever have concerns about anything that's happening in class or in the discussion forum or anything we read, beyond just simple confusion, but also like concerns, please reach out to me. I know that sometimes online classes may feel a little less personal because you're not like in a room with me every week, but please know that I am here, there is a human here, and I want to help, I want to understand, I want to know if you have any issues. So please, please, please reach out to me. I have a blurb about controversial course content. I used to just have that in my film studies class because we watch films with all different ratings. But I think that, you know, the nature of literature and art, and we watch some films in here too, I just like to kind of put that forward. I wanted to spend a few minutes speaking to the academic honesty and plagiarism policy. This is a course, the online literature course, that sometimes I have found more than I would like to instances of plagiarism. I think sometimes the depersonalization of an online class, the nature of the readings, you're reading a lot of kind of classic literature that folks have studied and written about a lot, lend themselves a bit more to plagiarism. And I just want you to be very aware of my policy. And to start, if you ever have any questions about if something constitutes plagiarism, if you're like, I don't know if this is a good source, I don't know if I'm using this source too much, reach out and ask me. I would so much rather tell you via email, oh yeah, please don't use that source, or how you have it right now would be considered plagiarism. And there's no consequence there, right? So if you ask, you can make sure that doesn't happen. So always reach out and ask. Depending on the severity of plagiarism on an assignment, you know, the difference between accidentally not citing something or copying and pasting entire paragraphs, you may get a 0 for the entire assignment. You may fail the class if you continue to do it. So just know that there are absolutely ramifications. I also wanted to point to a new policy that you're probably seeing different versions of on different course syllabi about the use of AI. And when I talk about that, I'm not talking about if you're sending an email or like autocorrect or it suggests a reply. Those are kinds of AI. I'm talking about predominantly, not only, but predominantly the use of ChatGPT, Quillbot, some of these other programs that function to ostensibly create writing. This is a very long and in-depth conversation. It's kind of difficult to have a one-way video with you. I want you to know that use of AI in my courses is plagiarism, even if it's, quote, just brainstorming ideas or creating outlines. Those are things that I want you to be doing with your brain. The entire point of a course like this is to read and analyze and write original thoughts. And that's what I want to see. A lot of the writing that we do throughout the semester is reflection-based, and the very nature of that is it is personal, and it's from you and your experiences and your thoughts about readings. So please keep that in mind. If you have any questions about this, let me know. But please just know my policy. And I kind of end my policy with this, that it can actually be a lot more work if you're trying to like use AI to generate a paper or a response or a paragraph and then try to go back and disguise it so it sounds like your own voice. That is so much more work than just trusting your brain. So please trust yourself. And if you need help, ask for it. I had a student ask the other day, well, what if I just use it to like, you know, topics for a blah, blah, blah paper. And I was like, what I would rather you do in that moment is email me and say, I'm having trouble coming up with a topic. And then we have a conversation about it. I ask you what you're interested in. What did you like that we read? Did it make you think of anything? We have that human conversation. So if you have moments where you think like, I just want to use it to brainstorm, email me instead. Okay. Let me be that first line of conversation for you. Okay. Let me know if you have any questions about this. Attendance for this online class, I do all semester, once a week, you will have something that you need to do. There will be points in the semester, especially around midterms and finals, where larger assignments, you may have 2 weeks to work on them, but that week in between, there will be some check-in activity. It might just be like, how are you doing? Like check in here. So as long as you are kind of completing your weekly tasks, that counts as attending the course. I do accept late work. So I think for most everything, I have due dates on all of my assignments, of course, typically Wednesday at midnight. They will stay open, so you can turn them in late. I'm notified that it's late. You do not want to do that very often because it's very quickly can snowball. So maybe once this semester, you kind of let yourself know that you have that get out of jail free card. Well, it's not totally free. You get a few points taken off, but I do want you to do the work, but please don't make a habit of it. These other sections are common. Be proactive, advocate for yourself. If you need accommodations, go through the access services, utilize Watermark. So many of us, we are here to help you and we want to see you succeed. So utilize the resources, including all of the people on campus who want you to succeed. And I am one of them, of course. Amazing Learning Center, Testing Center, online tutoring. Oops, I have a typo here. A repeated paragraph. Here's a basic course outline for our class. So pretty much every week on Wednesday by about noon, I will open up the next week's module and assignments will be due at midnight on Wednesday. So if you kind of turn in your work right before it's due, you might see the next week open and you're still turning in last week's work, but that is just kind of how we organize this course. This course outline is very broad, but basically I break it down. The first half of the semester, we're going beginnings to 1820, and then the second half of the semester is 1820 to 1865. So all of those readings in your textbook, and then I have topics that follow us week by week. So these are some topics that are connected to both the history and the literature that we're reading. So having kind of like mini lessons about the theater in colonial America or the birth of American music. So we kind of weave in some of those interdisciplinary topics throughout. Your grade for the semester, I can pretty much guarantee you we won't have exactly 1,000 points at the end of the semester, but this shows you basically an overview of the graded work, which is pretty much all writing this semester. So you do a lot of reading and a lot of writing. A ton of your writing this semester will be kind of more informal, reflection based. You do the readings, you engage with the readings. We have discussion posts, etc. But yeah, you will be well equipped. And again, as long as you are doing your reading and following along with the course, you absolutely will succeed. And then this is the text list that I referenced earlier. So if we look at week 1, which is our first kind of traditional module, the video will be posted here when I'm finished. Each week, there will be an assignment page. And this is where I tell you what to read, watch, discuss, and write that week. So please look at this so you know exactly what it is that you are reading for that week. And then, so the textbook will have page numbers, and then I might say linked articles as well. So you'll go back and say, okay, this week I'm supposed to do some readings from the textbook. Here are some linked articles. So I'll open these up. Hey, important lesson here. Sometimes you'll open a link and this will show up. Please click on this, the hyperlink here, and it will take you to the right page. That might happen with this one as well. No, this one does open. So just know that this link at the top of the box will take you to where you want to go, even if it looks like it's a dead link typically. I should say that sometimes it is a dead link. Do let me know if a link doesn't work, please. I try to check them all, but sometimes that happens. Under the watch for week 1 assignments, I say introduction PowerPoints and linked videos. So this is a PowerPoint that you can just look over. It's from the textbook. You can download it. I'm not going to open the whole thing. It's kind of massive. You can just kind of look at it. It has cool images and just some overviews. And then each week, I will have a link to the YouTube playlist and what you're supposed to watch from it. So here I say watch the creation story through Joseph Campbell. So I'm going to open this link. It looks like a dead link. It's not. Click here. It will take you to our playlist for this course. And since I'll refer back to the assignments, watch the creation story through Joseph Campbell. So up first is the creation story. And then here is Joseph Campbell. So the hope is that as soon as the module opens for the next week, you go in, look at the assignment, and take stock of everything that you'll need to do for the next week and plan your time accordingly. So you can just kind of glance at this and see, oh, this looks like, I don't know, maybe about 45 minutes total of videos. And you can break those up. You can watch a few in one day, a few the next day, etc. And same with your readings. Look at what your reading assignment is for that week and plan your time accordingly. What you do not want to do is not open the module, not open the assignment until like Monday, and then give yourself 48 hours to do it all. Please do not do that. It will not work out. So each week, click on this assignment, carefully go over everything that you need to do, and then plan out your time accordingly. Because sometimes if you have a longer reading assignment, I'm not going to give you as many videos and vice versa. So you want to, again, have a really good handle on what things look like week to week. The assignments. We won't have discussions every single week, but at first I do like for us to practice doing them. So for week 1, you will have 2 written assignments. We'll look at the discussion first. So this is a discussion forum. I ask you to choose one of the following prompts, indicate which one you're responding to, and write about a paragraph, a thoughtful response. And I really encourage you to engage with each other, respond to other folks, ask questions, agree, etc. And then the reflection, and this isn't a quiz function, but it is a written reflection. So we'll just kind of prompt you to type in the box. You should have read the introduction to the first part of the text. I ask you to focus on one specific passage that highlights something you find compelling. This might be a historical event, a person or people, a law, a movement, a literary text, etc. In your reflection, identify what your focus is and write at least 2 paragraphs reflecting on it and why it stood out to you. It can be personal response, connection to current events, etc. You don't need a works cited page, but do practice MLA style citations, so referring to the page number, etc. This will be very common week by week, some form of this, where I ask you to take something specific from the text and write a reflection. So kind of get used to how this feels. I have a great handout about writing a reflection, so please be sure to kind of look at all of those resources. And as you're looking through all of those resources, if something doesn't make sense, if you want further explanation about something, please reach out to me. I just cannot stress that enough. And in terms of grading, as I grade these initial discussion posts and reflections, um, my expectations will grow higher and higher as the semester progresses. So right now I'm saying practice MLA citation. In a few weeks, you will be required to include in-text citation in your reflections. So I don't want you to feel overwhelmed right out the gate. I want you to feel like it's a positive experience, that you're kind of getting used to how this feels. Again, it is a lot of reading, so prepare for that. If you ever feel bogged down, kind of remember that the nature of an online class, if this was an in-person class, we would be sitting together in a classroom almost 3 hours a week. So keep that in mind. But if you organize your reading, if you organize your time, if you organize what you need to watch and read and write, you absolutely will be able to tackle this week by week. You have my word. And if you're ever overwhelmed or feel like you're falling behind or something doesn't make sense, reach out to me sooner rather than later. I can't wait to get to know you this semester. I look forward to reading your writing and hopefully talking to you somehow, whether it's in person or via Zoom or over the phone. I'm here. And let me know if you need anything at all. Have a great week.